be honest with you, I did not mean to press live, but here we are already. So let's do it. I think we're good. Okay, so it's going to be A, Sanch, and Jaded Kate for the first 3 free. Then all the rest of you guys, if you want a reading, I am doing readings today, unlimited times. You get to choose the time you want and donate for that amount of time, and you can see that in the description. It's going to be a little different than normal, so please check that out and let me know if you can hear me okay. It's a little early, so I'm taking it down a notch, but this is my hour, so I'm taking advantage of this hour, and I'm going to be live. And if you guys would like a reading, after these first 3 free, I'm going to choose randomly, you know, general messages, random people. So if you want to wait around and see if that's you, go ahead. You have no like for sure guarantee of being chosen. I'm just letting you know now. It will be at random for free general messages. But if you would like a personal reading and you have a few questions you want to ask, then go ahead and ask those questions after donating, and it'll be unlimited questions you can ask for a certain amount of time. So see that in the description and let me know when you donate, okay? Okay, so first and foremost, let's go with A. Got some general freeze. A is the first one. I'm just going to make sure all my cards are upright really quick. Alright, so what's going on for A? Let me know if at any time you have trouble hearing me, okay? This is for A. What kind of general messages are coming out for you today? What do you need to hear? What do you need to know? And what do you need to understand? Oh. The High Priestess here basically says whatever you're feeling intuitively is probably spot on. So I wouldn't question it too much. Like if you're feeling something is happening or going to happen, or like you know something that you're not being told directly, I would go with it. That's what the High Priestess is saying. It's saying go with your gut. Go with your gut feeling. You could be receiving a lot of intuitive messages at this time, and you should listen to them. It has something to do with your happiness, you know, something that's going to make you very happy. Obviously, if you listen to your gut, it's going to lead you in the right direction. In this case, is being highlighted here. 10 of Cups is the best you can get, so I would say definitely, unless you want to be upset and angry, take that advice. Another card that came out over here, 6 of Cups. So this could have something to do with memories or nostalgia or something you're feeling, you know, you're thinking about the past a lot. You're thinking about memories and, you know, ways, you know, things used to be in some situation. Maybe you're thinking about your, you know, the happiness you used to have in a certain situation or just in the past in general. A lot of feelings of nostalgia, a lot of memories. Try not to dwell there because happiness is yours in the future as long as you just listen to your intuition, okay? Anything else here for A? Awesome. You see the Temperance card, Sagittarius. It also represents harmony and well-being. You know, your environment is very harmonious, things are going well and you're happy. People around you are happy. This is a great reading. It's basically just saying listen to your inner voice, listen to your intuition, follow it, and you will find happiness, which is as great as it gets, really. You know, take action. You'll have the opportunity to take action. Why do I feel like you are probably a person who struggles with listening to your intuition? So it's really highlighting the fact that you need to do that here. And it's saying you're going to have the perfect time and place to take action on this. Like, there will be a perfect time and place for this to actually set in motion and spark all of these great things coming towards you if you just listen to your intuition. So there's going to probably be a time when you're faced with a decision or some kind of feeling and you don't know which way to go. And people may be trying to tell you different, but you feel inside that you just know something isn't right, or you just know what they're saying is not exactly the case. And so at that time, you should probably listen to your own intuition, and that will lead you in the best, direction possible for you here. Okay, A? So very simple, very straightforward there. Nice. Don't second guess yourself, Okay. Thanks, Jaded, for clearing that up. And Sanch, this is for you. Sanch, what do you need to know in general? Oh. What do you need to know? What do you need to hear? What do you need to understand? Generally, today at this time, for Sanch, what do you need to know, hear, and understand today? Generally, which messages need to be brought to your attention according to the cards? Okay, I saw it. I'm going to include it just because I did notice it. It didn't quite flip over, but I do feel like I noticed it, and that's something that I should pay attention to. So, first of all, oh, there's 2 cards under here. I didn't even notice that. Okay. So, Sanji, you're going to have a decision to make. Okay? And you feel pretty good about your odds, like your chances of this going well and you making the right decision, because in the 2 of Wands, you see he has the world in his hands. And he also has this world surrounding him, so he feels pretty confident. He feels like the world's in his hands, like he's kind of in control of his situation. So I would say that in this moment you feel, not now necessarily, I mean it could, but whenever you're faced with this decision you have to make, like you have to take action, you have to make a decision now. You may have had time to think about it, maybe you didn't have time to think about it. Either way, it doesn't matter. At this point in time when this happens, you're faced with this decision, it's a decision you need to make now or soon, right? And it probably has to do with love. We have the Ace of Cups here. So it could be about 2 different people, possibly, or just 2 different paths you have to choose from, that you'll go down. You can only choose one, and it'll take you in a certain direction in your life, and so it's a big decision. But I would say when you're faced with this decision, you feel pretty confident or self-assured, or you feel like you kind of know what's the best thing for yourself. It doesn't seem like you're going to have too much trouble making the decision. But I would say that you should be careful because this, I'm not really exactly sure why you're feeling so sure of yourself, because it seems like at the end of the day, something goes awry here or something happens. Maybe it wasn't originally going to happen, but it does eventually seem to happen with the Ten of Swords here. Like something changes and it's an unexpected betrayal, which means you trusted the person, which means you didn't expect them to betray you, right? You felt pretty good about the decision you made. But the Devil's here and the Ace of Cups too, so I feel like it's about a love situation or possible friendship, maybe inspiration, possibly maybe just someone lending a hand of support and affection. The Devil could represent Capricorn. It could also just represent, obviously, there's toxicity here. There's something that, you feel self-assured, but it's really either fake, it's lies, it's, it's just not what it seems. It's not fair, it's the Devil. You feel chained. It's a temptation, it's an urge, like you feel like you need to do this or you really want to, like why wouldn't you? But at the end of the day, the Ten of Swords is here, and I just feel like you need to be careful when you're making this decision, because no matter how confident you feel about it, something is not right. But I'm not sure you're going to be feeling like that at that time. Let's see another one for you. Let's see what else do we need to know here in regards to this? Like, what would she need to be watching out for? Because it doesn't feel like anything is wrong. King of Pentacles, okay. Could be an Earth sign person. Again, we had Capricorn here, remember? We can also have Taurus and Virgo. And I would also say with the King of Pentacles, rather, the person or the situation may call for, certain valuables or material items, actual things, like stuff, like things that cost money or money itself. This person's focused on money or this project or this inspiration or this whatever it is that you are going toward and making a decision, between these things. It has to do with money, or it has to do with, something where money and material items are involved. So I would say the person, that's how you kind of know who this is that we're talking about here, about this betrayal. Or this, possible inspiration. Maybe it's a partner you go in on a business idea with or something, along those lines. But either way, you would know that person because they're materialistic or they care very much about their valuables and money in the situation. And I don't blame them for that, because it looks like they're focused on the Ten of Pentacles here, which is, this is headed towards the Ten of Pentacles, which is like the direction that this person wants to go is making the most money possible or having the most security possible. We have two tens here. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. It has to do with money, I would say, or security regarding what this betrayal is about. So just be careful who you trust in any business relations or any kind of... It could be an inspirational thing, a business idea, or it could be a love situation. It could be a Capricorn person. Either way, Sanch, you're going to have to make a decision between two things, maybe more things, but, Two of Wands. For now, we know it's two things. And it's going to feel like you know what you want to do, for sure, and no hesitation, but I'm just saying you should look at, everything that's going on, because obviously there's more going on there than it seems. So just be careful with anybody who's materialistic or asking for money or focused on, making a lot of money to where it would be in their best interest, if they're a shady person, to, like, why would they have any urge to take from you and betray you with money? This person is focused on money a lot more than you, but in a way that's not healthy. You'll see this person by knowing that about them, okay? That's how I'd identify this person, is to know that they're over-concerned with the money or the valuables in the situation. It's not about helping people for this person, It's about what are they going to get in return. and things like that, okay? Things about valuables and money. Materialistic. Could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Okay, ready? For Jaded. Jaded Kate. What does Jaded Kate need to know, hear, and understand today? Okay, again, King of Pentacles. It could be, you know, a situation where you feel like your hands are tied in a situation that has to do with money or valuables or security, you know, a place you live. Somebody is kind of making you feel obligated, or possibly like you know, you feel like your hands are tied, like you don't have another choice in the situation. And it doesn't feel good. It feels like you do not have any other choice, but I'll have you know that the Eight of Swords is really a great card because it's your own, you know, restriction you're putting on yourself. You know, maybe it's an excuse, maybe it's a fear, maybe it's just, you just don't know, you're confused, or you're not sure what you're going to do next, but you do have many different options, and one of them is to free yourself. You can walk away at any time with this Eight of Swords. It's not like you're actually stuck. It just, you think you are, and you're telling yourself you are, but you're not. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with money or valuables, material items. Somebody could be holding over your head or making you feel obligated, or like you owe something, and it just feels terrible. It feels like you're stuck there, but that's just yourself keeping yourself stuck. It may be uncomfortable, but you really can walk away and free yourself from this at any time. You're not obligated by any means to remain in this situation. It just is your own comfortability, I think, or your own fear, maybe is a better way to put it. But it looks like you're going to be working really hard for someone, maybe like an apprenticeship or under their wing, or some kind of, you know, deal you have going with the person in exchange for something else, you know. Working very hard, almost nonstop. This is like an everyday thing or a very often thing. And it's going to end in some kind of, well, it's not going to end necessarily, but we see it headed towards some kind of disappointment. You know, and you could be thinking about the past. Like, I feel like there's a lot of guilt here for you. There's a lot of, like, something that happened in the past that you feel like now this is what you have to do to make it right, or to, you know, give it your all in some way, but it has you feeling very exhausted and very stuck there. Like you have no other choice. It doesn't feel good. It feels like you need to do this in order to, you know, remove the guilt that you feel in some way, or disappointment that you're feeling in some way. I feel like there's other ways to prove this to yourself, that you're not just a disappointment, you know, and it's not necessarily by proving it to other people that's important here. It's proving it to yourself. So let's see what else you need to do based on that. There is a person who is resentful and vindictive here, so I could see why you feel obligated, because the person obviously is trying to make you feel that way. That's the purpose. And it's working. But this person would do this to anybody they could do it to. It's not just you. You just happen to be the one who's taking it right now. Ace of Wands, awesome. You'll have the opportunity to take action in some way. And where is this headed? I feel like it's talking about, you know, you'll have the opportunity to take action in some way to get yourself out of this, remove yourself from it. Collaboration, exchanging of ideas. You could meet somebody in this situation when you're working for this person, or, you know, trying to pay back a debt or some kind of thing you feel guilty for out of obligation to do. You could meet somebody who's either doing it too. There's a few people in this card, or two people in this card. Maybe it's somebody you're working with, or maybe it's, you know, somebody completely separate from the job, but I feel like it is related to the job since we're exchanging ideas here and collaborating. So this could be somebody you end up working with doing this, and you guys could connect, and I feel like you need to collaborate and join forces together and figure out what you need to do to better the situation, remove yourself from it, or maybe go off and start your own kind of, you know, go on your own adventure and do something that you guys both agree on with your ideas. So you need to exchange your ideas with the people around you. There's going to be some people around you, and that could help you to escape this situation or this uncomfortable, you know, circumstance that you're currently in or going to be in. So you need to kind of join forces with like-minded people is what I'm getting in order to escape this. Yep. And you and this person are like-minded. See, you see eye to eye. There's no imbalance of power. It's an equal exchange, healthy. And, you know, you guys are on the same page, so it's beautiful. You'll know that when you meet the person. It's not just like here and there we agree on things. It's like, no, we're on the same page. We're in the same boat. We're going the same direction. We want the same things. We have the same goals, desires, likes, dislikes. I mean, this is what we both want. And we know it. And so with that, there's nothing that can really stop you. So find that person that you need to connect with and exchange ideas with in order to get yourself out of this situation. Or improve the situation anyway. If you can't completely remove yourself from it. Hi Dat Ninja, hi KK, hi Sanch again, hi Jaded, hi Twinkle, hi Infinity 17, hi Cosmo, hi Harshita, hi Sejal, hi Toya, hi A again, hi Olive, hi Nikki, I think that's everybody. Yes, thank you, Jaded. Please, you guys, if you still would like a reading, check out the description. It explains everything you need to know there to get a reading. And tonight it's going to be unlimited questions. Any amount of questions that you have that you can ask within the time that you choose. Hi, Thailand, or Thailand. It's unlimited questions for a donation, okay? So there are certain time periods. There's 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 15 minutes. Each of them a different donation amount, obviously, but you can ask as many questions as you can fit within the allotted time. So it's super cool and in-depth, and we'll see how many we can get answered for you, okay? So we just did the first 3 free. Now we're on donation readings. I'll pick a few general readings here and there, but it is not going to be guaranteed for you to get a free general message chosen by random, but I will choose a few people here and there, okay? So if you're cool with that, let's get started. Let's see here. Well, hi you guys, thanks for liking this video. Okay, yeah, well, all the information's in the description, and you can see it there below this video, or to the right of this video, depending on what device you're using for YouTube. But yeah, so 7 minutes, $7.77, and you can choose one of the payment options I have there. Just let me know when you donate, because PayPal hasn't been notifying me. So just let me know when that goes through and I will check it and then we'll get started. Okay, please have some questions ready. I'll start the timer and we will get your questions answered tonight, right now. As many as you got. Just let me know, okay? Yes, Alicia, definitely. Definitely you can. Just check out the description I have below the video or to the right of the video. And you can see all the options I have there. It's a little bit different than normal. If you're new here, then you'll have to read it obviously for the first time, but if you're not new here, then you should just read it anyway because it does have different options today. So please go ahead and do that if you're interested in donating, and let me know after you do donate so that I can make sure that I don't miss it. And first of all, we have let's see here. I know I just received one, I just don't see it yet. Okay, Dylan, 5 minutes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start the timer. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you, by the way. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so your question. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay, starting. And you said, will me and my Capricorn get back together, and will she reach out? Okay. Will me and my Capricorn get back together? Well, it seems like you're being asked to take action here. You'll have the opportunity to take action here. Let's see what this is talking about. So we're going into this. We're asking about your Capricorn ex and will she reach out? Will you guys get back together? And it seems to be asking you to take action in some way. Looks like in the past, or you know, maybe the very recent past, or even now, you're pushing away people that are not necessary to push away. It could be her. In some way, you may have pushed her away in a way that you don't realize you're doing. You know, maybe you're trying really hard to get back with her, but you don't realize the whole reason she was pushed away, and you didn't realize how you pushed her away, maybe by, you know, unconsciously being distant, or by being, you know, unaffectionate, or whatever the case was. I think this is what led to the overall feeling of dissatisfaction from her. Seemingly, it seems like you pushed away, you know, her in a way that was not necessary. You know, feeling like a threat from her, maybe subconsciously feeling a threat. Instead of just trusting the connection, you kind of felt like you had to do that, and maybe you weren't conscious of it, but that person definitely was. So now, you're being faced with the decision, and I feel like it's funny that you asked, will she reach out, will we get back together? So the thing is, it seems to me that the cards are pretty much saying, yes, you can, if you take action. You know, not necessarily yes, you can. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. But it's basically leading you in the direction of, you need to take some kind of action here. You need to make some kind of decision here. Maybe even make some kind of sacrifice here. See, look at this. The Four of Wands, that's the reunion card. So I would say we just killed two birds with one stone there with these questions. This kind of, you know, leads us to a certain conclusion here, which is that you're going to have to work very hard in order to get this person back. But it seems to be possible. It's just that do not forget that this effort has to be put out in a tremendous way. Like, you cannot do this half-assed, seemingly, is what the cards are saying to me about the situation. You know, you have to make a decision, a deliberate decision now. You cannot wait for this to happen. You cannot just sit there and relax and hope that it will happen for it to happen. Something needs to change, or something needs to be done, or something needs to be shown, something needs to be said. I mean, something needs to be made known. And, you know, so that this person doesn't feel like you're pushing them away. Now let's see what else we can find out. If you have any other questions, definitely go ahead and ask at any time. Don't worry about interrupting me. I'll be periodically checking the comments to make sure. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left, because last time I tried to reach out, she left me on scene like a couple of months ago. So let's see what you have done, what you were doing that pushed her away, or what can be done for you. Okay. So basically a break. Whatever break you guys took, it left the situation confused and up in the air. Like, there was no closure here. What needs to be done now? Like, you need to stop. You need to close this gap here that shows that, you know, the cracks, there's confusion, there's lack of clarity, and you need to make that known. You need to, like, be direct about this and communicate, because both of you, I think, see this in different ways right now. And one of you is doing most of the work to try and make this, you know, happen again. It's a one-sided thing, though, because the other person isn't trying anymore. But I feel like the ways that you're trying are all wrong. You're doing it in a way that's not helpful to the situation. What does he need to do to stop pushing her away? You know, what was he doing that was pushing her away? Or, you know, making her feel like she had to... Interesting. You were trying really hard, but what way? You were trying in a way that didn't work, or it was wrong. It was not helpful to the situation. It hurt the situation. Maybe your pride, or your strength, your lack of ability to open up, your lack of ability to say how you feel, or to connect. You know, you didn't realize that you being so strong and manly, or trying to be like a certain way, or trying to be like not weak, if I can say that in that example, that was, you know, you're trying so hard to be strong that you weren't really opening up, if I could say that. I would say the past has a lot to do with it, like maybe your childhood, or somebody from your past, maybe somebody older than you kind of gave you that idea that to be strong you can't be weak, and to be weak means feeling or having emotions or showing those emotions. That's weakness, and it isn't. And I think that this person needed a little more depth from you, and if you're able to kind of get to that point that you're able to open up and trust the person enough to show them your real self, your genuine self, I think that would help you out a lot, tremendously. Maybe even if you can communicate this to this person and tell them that, you know, you didn't realize that before, now you do, and you're working to make that, you know, you're working on that, and you need to actually be working on it and showing that so that they can actually believe it. That's not an easy one, you know? That's not an easy one to do when you feel like it's weak to show emotion. It's really not an easy thing to just all of a sudden start feeling like that's not weak, you know, like to start putting your pride down. It's a difficult thing. So I'm not saying it's easy. Like it showed, it was going to be really hard work. And you feel stuck, you feel like your hands are tied, like you don't really know what to do. I'm not surprised. But that's what I have for you, okay? It's not going to be easy at all. But it's possible. We saw that reunion card there, so don't forget that. But you do have to take action, okay? You do have to make some choices here and show something to this person. You have to prove to them that you are actually strong because you're able to face your own fears and open up and trust, okay? Nice. Awesome. Okay. I think if you do reach out, Thailand, you should say something about what we've discussed here, like you'd like to connect, you'd like to be more genuinely open, and you have to kind of show that. And so you might have to do some work and with yourself to see how you can actually do that and get to that point that you can trust a person enough and trust yourself enough to actually open up with yourself and show that. You know, stop being so, you know, like you don't have to be strong and closed off and not showing who you really are and being tough, because it's not genuine. And some people won't have that, some people do not. You know, you can't connect with a person who isn't connected with themselves, really. You know what I mean? Yes, Alicia, I do. Let me just read your question and start the timer. My question is, how does my ex feel now that he's seen I'm in a relationship? Does he know yet that I'm pregnant? Okay, let's see. Starting the timer. How does your ex feel about the new relationship you're in? How's your disappointed, let down, regret, dwelling? They're like, what did I do wrong? They're dwelling on it. I think they can't fix it. They feel like they can't fix it. There's nothing they can do, and they're really letting it get to them. It's never good. But I would say that they are in a state of regret and disappointment about something they've done or something that didn't work out for them. You know, we're talking about you being in a relationship. I feel like they're obviously feeling disappointed in themselves. Justice, the Libra card, justice, if that means anything. And the Two of Cups. So I feel like closure is definitely something that was needed here that wasn't really given so generously or so easily before, and maybe now this reading has, you know, kind of given you a little bit of closure that you felt you needed, you know, to understand the person. It's, you know, it's something that was needed. With the Justice card here, it's kind of like this was meant to happen this way, even if it hurts and you feel like it should be different. Like, this Two of Cups shows that you guys were very connected at one point, and so obviously it hurts a lot, you know, to even think about you with somebody else, or for you to actually be with somebody else. And maybe you feel like they weren't, you know, caring before, but it seems like now they do have some regrets about this, and that could be enough closure for you right there. So let's see. There's a lot of options. I feel like they definitely see that. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about this. I think they're thinking about all kinds of things that they could do. Like, can they fix it? Can they not? You know, what's going to happen in the future for them, for you? Maybe they see it as a bit unrealistic for you to be jumping into something like this, or what do they know about the pregnancy? Do they know anything about the pregnancy? Give me the Empress and the High Priestess, or cards like that. The Queen of Cups, if he knows about the pregnancy. Queen of Cups, Empress, High Priestess, to confirm he knows. Okay, well, we got the Sun, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, 3 of Swords, and 7 of Swords. So, let's see what we have here. The Sun makes me feel like he might be realizing something. You know, something is coming to light. I don't think it's necessarily the pregnancy, though, because, you know, something's coming to light. Along with the 5 of Cups here, that disappointment, I feel like what's coming to light is, you know, what he is, like, missing out on, basically. or, you know, things that have happened and what it is now and the way that he kind of regrets that, or things he did, right? The ways he acted. It's like he can now see that this is something he wishes didn't happen, for example. Maybe not so much that he's going to take action and change himself, but he's definitely dwelling on past, you know, decisions, and he's disappointed about it, seemingly here. But, you know, along with the Ten of Pentacles, Two of Wands, it's like, I think he believes that you went in some kind of direction toward your own stability, and now you have that. You know, maybe he knows that it's possible that you may have a family with the person because this family together here, and there's a lot of security. So that could even add to the disappointment even more, that basically, you know, knowing that you can have a secure thing with this situation. You know, I think also there's this tendency to feel like maybe something isn't right here, like you're going to get your heart broken, or there's something that's being hidden from you. But I feel like that's more of just him maybe hoping for that, or kind of, you know, telling himself that because it's like a very disappointing thing for himself. But there's like no real evidence that this would be something bad for you. So that's why I feel like it could be something that he's just kind of trying to believe himself, you know, like this, something ain't right about this, you know, there's another person involved or something. And I think it's just wishful thinking, even though that's kind of a sick way to think wishfully. But, you know, because before we see here, something's coming to light, and it's that you're going in the direction of stability and security. You could actually have that with this person and with this situation. But he's hoping against hope that something's hidden or not being seen, like something maybe even that he can't see. Maybe he believes that there's something he's not, like something isn't right. This can't really just happen like this to me. There has to be something else going on here. There has to be something I don't know, or something they're hiding from me, or something that's, you know, maybe for his own protection of his own heart, he doesn't want to know, or something to that effect. You know, it's like something that he hurts him too, you know, to believe. But it's something that I feel like he does see that it's very possible you could have security with that person, and that's something that doesn't feel good. I'm a Pisces, he's a Sag. Thank you. What is karma? Yeah. Maybe that's what we're talking about then here too, with the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. It's like, I mean, he snuck around and that broke your heart, and that's the result of this. But I feel like he's definitely understanding those things now, or at least accepting that, hey, like this person is doing better without me, and there's a reason for that, and there's really no other way to see that. You know, not, like I said, not to say that they're going to change their ways, but as of right now, I feel like they're not proud of the way that they handled the situation with you. Definitely dwelling a little bit on it. Seeing the error of his ways, kind of understanding more that it is his, you know, decisions he made that really contributed to this, and that now you have a better chance of doing a lot better without him, which no one likes to see that, or know that, or understand, or hear that, you know, or believe that about an ex, you know, like, oh, they're doing better without me. Like that hurts, you know. It makes you feel like you're not good enough, or that you brought the person down, and, you know, they found somebody else to bring them up, and you're just not good enough to do that. So I would say that person's feeling that a bit. Not to say that they'll change, but they're definitely thinking about how disappointing that is. Of course, Alicia. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. As you can see, I've gone a couple minutes over for some of these because I wasn't quite finished explaining, and I mean, I don't pull any more cards, but I'll just explain in depth, you know, thoroughly, so that you can understand, because I feel like, you know, there's more that needs to be said about these certain cards. So I will be fair about that. I won't just cut it off and, you know, tell you your time's up. I'll explain the situation with the cards that we've drawn. So let's see. Is Infinity still here? Is Toya still here? Or Twinkle? Cosmo? Sejal? Harshita? KK? Dat Ninja? Anything important that will happen at the festival in 3 months? Any insight from Spirit, please? I have an opportunity to meet someone, but maybe will be kind of difficult. The festival is pretty big. Okay. You're funny. Was it PayPal? Because I'm guessing it was, because that's the only one I don't get notified on anymore. Haven't figured out how to fix that yet. But I'm checking right now, Jaded, and then we'll get started. Oh. Okay. Okay. So we have okay, so we did Alicia, now we have Jaded for 7. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate your donation. Let's look at the clock here, and we have 7 minutes. So before I begin, I just want to get your questions. Okay. And at any time, go ahead and post your other questions if you have any. Anything important that will happen at the festival in 3 months? Any insight from Spirit? I have an opportunity to meet someone, but maybe will be kind of difficult. The festival's pretty big. Okay. I'm going to get these cards upright really quick. Switch decks over for you. We've got a little bit of energy in those cards. I think it's time to switch it up a little bit. So just give me a second here, Jaded. I have not started the timer yet, of course. Thank you, by the way, again, for your donations, you guys. I appreciate it. I'm excited to read for you and do this. Unlimited questions. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Okay, so almost done. So this festival, gonna meet somebody, a person who's on stage maybe? Or is this a person that you want to meet in person? They're gonna be there, but you don't really know where they're gonna be because the festival's so big. Okay. Am I frozen? Okay. We're good? Okay. You can see it? Okay, good. Because I'm showing buffering. Or not buffering, but just frozen. Okay, working again. Cool. So at this festival, let me start the timer. Okay. At this festival, what can Spirit tell us about this festival? She wants to meet a person. Doesn't know if she'll be able to, but what are the chances? Like, what do we see happening at this festival that she needs to be aware of, prepared for, and excited for? What does she need to know? What do you want her to know? What do you want to bring to her attention about the festival in the next 3 months that's coming up? Ooh! You could meet someone that you become very connected to, that you guys, it doesn't even have to be love, but of course it could be, but you know, at festivals you're having all kinds of connections, or you know, you can if you're that type of person who's, you know, open to that. And so it seems like you have a good possibility of meeting at least somebody here that you feel very connected to. Okay. Okay. So it's going to take you on a journey basically into yourself about things that you need to kind of face, you know, things that you need to emotionally face, but on your own. So this connection is basically pushing you in the direction of healing yourself, because only you can heal yourself, right? But that's a good thing. This has been a long time coming, and this is something that, you know, took a long time to come to, you know, get for you to get to this point. So I feel like, I don't know what kind of connection this is, but obviously it's a connection where, you know, it's helping you to help yourself. It's helping you realize things, and it's pointing you in this direction of healing. So it seems like somebody, you know, it could be you pushing this away. Of course, the messages could be turned, but I feel like even though the Two of Cups is there showing like a strong connection, and, you know, you guys are like on the same page and you understand each other very well, it's like somebody's still fighting and pushing away this, I feel like, obviously facing their own emotions. So this connection leads to a lot of inner conflict, and, you know, it could be you or it could be the other person who's feeling this way, but a lot of inner conflict, and then, you know, a lot of trying to take the easy way out. I feel like mostly it's just because they're not trying to face, you or them are not trying to face this issue, which is, you know, something is missing inside. That's why you have these 8 cups here, but one of them is missing, that space that's missing there, because it represents something missing inside, and maybe you feel like this person is that missing piece. But that's why it comes out with the 8 of Cups after that, directly after, because it's saying, no, this person is just the catalyst to your own healing, but you only can do that for yourself. So that's what you need to remember about this, is there's no easy way out here. You're trying to not confront these things or not be confronted on these things. It's only going to lead to disappointment, you know, and you not seeing the 2 opportunities that are still here. You know, crying over spilt milk, something happened in the past that you can't go back and change, and that's all you're focused on. You don't even see, look, you have 2 chances to do something different. You can do the same thing and get the same result and be disappointed, or you can do something different. You can go take these cups and go back here onto this bridge and travel to this castle, which you've never been before. It represents uncharted territory, which is a new beginning. Doing something different is important here, not what you've always done in the past. Stop avoiding your healing. That's what needs to happen. That's why you're meeting this person, because they're going to be the catalyst to you healing if you're willing to accept that. If you're willing to face yourself, then this is very possible right now, you know, when you meet the person, which is kind of different than I'm sure you were hoping to hear, but nonetheless, it's what came out and what is important in the situation. So we're at 3 minutes. I'm going to stop just so that I can look at your question, your next one. Okay, let's see. So would you like me to continue in that same direction and just see what else comes out? Or did you want to ask another question, Jaded? It's up to you. If you'd like to know more about that situation, we can look into it more. Or we can ask another question. It's up to you. Yeah, delve into that. Okay. So let's see. Start at 3 minutes. Okay. What else does Jaded need to know about this person? About the experience, about the festival? What do they need to know about this person at the festival? What else do they need to understand about this connection and about themselves in regards to this connection? It's something that, you know, you have the opportunity here to create a lot of stability in your life, okay? The Ace of Pentacles, aces obviously are opportunities, but the Ace of Pentacles is stability, security, maybe even money, you know, material security it could be, but more than likely it's just talking about you have the chance to have security here. Like, things will be secure for you if you're able to actually take advantage of the opportunity. It could be a younger earth sign person, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and also it could be just representing like a new venture, like a new idea, something that brings security. That's the goal. You know, the pentacle here is the goal of security. It could be one-sided, or you're doing more work than necessary, or you're working hard instead of smart. And I would say that there's some kind of new connection coming in, or some kind of like offer of support, or offer of affection, or offer of love, or offer of, you know, someone offering their cup to you and you're not having it. So, you know, the one-sidedness, it could be you, it could be them. Let's see. Something that comes out of nowhere. So I feel like there's a switch up. There could be a switch up between you and this person, but why? Like, you all of a sudden just pull back and do not engage in it. You are trying, or maybe it's them, but you or them, whoever's pulling back, all of a sudden out of nowhere, just kind of like with force, they are withholding any kind of like reciprocation of these feelings. And that's because they're trying to gather more information first. Something scared them off, but what was it? What was it that scared them off and has them holding back now? Out of nowhere. Obviously, what? Oh, well, maybe it's which direction to take. Cancer, the Cancer card, but the two Sphinxes here could be talking about which direction to take is the better direction. And this Hanged Man here isn't just talking about, like, you know, they're not going to take action ever. It's basically just saying they're going to hold back on taking action for now because they want to sit here and gather all the information they can so that they can be enlightened and make an enlightened decision when the time comes. So I would say there's a person who shows interest romantically, and either they or you start to hold back, and it's not really obvious why. It's kind of out of nowhere. But I would say the person hasn't, you know, they're not going to stop, you know, coming forward, but for now they are. Like, the Four of Swords isn't here, so it's not really showing a break or a rest period needed for healing. It's just showing that the person needs more information first, you know, before they can decide which way they want to go. They don't know enough information about both paths, so they're going to try to get that information and then decide. That should become very clear. I don't think there's going to be except for whoever's this is talking about, you know, where the person cuts off completely. It's going to feel like they're not really responding or they're not available, but I would say more than likely they are just trying to decide what the best mode of action is because they're not sure which way to go in this direction. And then with the sun here, I would say that, you know, things are going to be brought to light. Like, there shouldn't be too much lack of clarity, except for that period of time when, you know, the person's not communicating, or the person's cut off, or the person's not giving or taking any offers out of nowhere. That can be a bit confusing, but with the sun here at the end, I feel like at some point there's going to be a realization, or at some point there's going to be a discussion about this, or it's going to be understood by you, realized by you or them. You know, it's going to be out in the open. It's going to be understandable. It's not going to be confusing, or, you know, there's going to be a moment in time when it's made clear what's going on and what the person wants to do. Like, it won't be this on and off thing forever, or this hot and cold thing forever. It'll be a thing that, you know, eventually you guys are able to kind of like, either you'll just realize because it'll be seen for what it is, or there's somebody who kind of like comes forth with what they're trying to do, or maybe they just show, you know, they make that decision and then it's known. But there's not going to be a lack of clarity at the end, you know, maybe for a little while, but I feel like it's going to clear up and they're going to, you know, come back around and explain, or something like that, you know, or show their affection, or reciprocate again, you know, because at first they hold back on reciprocating, but then they just need to know a little bit more about you, or to feel better about the, you know, approaching it or moving forward with it. Like, how are they going to do that? Maybe there's mixed messages and they're not sure if it's something that they want to do or not, or if it's something that you want to do or not. So they kind of have to decide. They kind of have to figure out what's going on so that they can make a good decision that they feel confident about, that they feel good about. Right on, Jaded. Hi, Bank. Hi, Sarabi. Hi, Himani. Hi, Joythi. And thanks for subscribing, you guys. Please go ahead and like this video as well. So you can look at the pinned message and you can see that there are a few options you have for donating for as many questions as you'd like to ask within the allotted time that you choose. So check that out in the description. It's different than normal. You guys are new, so obviously you don't know what normal is, and with that, you should also read the description so that you can know the options you have. And you can ask as many questions as you have within the allotted time that you can. Okay. Is Joyty still here? Let me know if Joyty is still here. Or Bank. Or Rajni. Rajni. KK. Twinkle. Surabi. Let's look at your general situation. Surabi. A general for Surabi. Pratibha. I am doing a general for Surabi at the moment. Surabi. I would say it's a good chance that you could be getting pregnant, or there's a new beginning. The birth of something, not necessarily a born child. I mean, not necessarily a person like you're pregnant with, but a new experience, or a new path of life, or some kind of the birth of something new for you. So it could be a pregnancy though, and I would say be careful with that, or congratulations, however you look at it. But here I would say that, pregnancy I'm saying because it's the Empress, the birth of something, a lot of times pregnancy, and the Wheel of Fortune. So it's saying you have a good chance of this happening for you, either a new beginning or a pregnancy. And at the same time, you should be very cautious and, use your better judgment. It seems like there's some kind of thing it's trying to caution you from, or prevent you from falling victim to, if I can say that, or falling into in a way that's negative, or there's some kind of, you need to use your better judgment for some reason about this new beginning, or this pregnancy, whatever it is, with the Empress here. Because there's a good chance that it's going to happen, but it's saying you need to use your better judgment on this. You need to think this one through, and if you have everything, all the information you need in order to make a decision that is, the best decision for you, there's more that you need to know about that situation before you can make a decision with a clear mind, with an informed, before you can make an informed decision. Ace of Cups. There is potential love here. I would say it could definitely be a pregnancy. And if it's not, it's a new beginning, right? But it's something to do with a lot of emotion, an abundance of emotion that's possible here. So, and it's just asking you to think about it, you know, more. Do not just jump into anything. Use your better judgment. Use your intuition, you know, use what you know from your past situations and apply it. Don't forget everything you've learned about certain people and ways that they are and what that means or what that can mean. You know, and how you can prevent any kind of extra unnecessary hurt, drama, or upset in your life. There's potential love here, but you need to use your better judgment. Okay? There's more to that story. But for now, that's what we have. Gita or Jita, let's see, was it PayPal? Because sometimes I do not get notified on PayPal for some reason. So let's see. I'm guessing that's what it was. Allow me to check really quick. Okay. I see it. Okay. So for 7 minutes, right? Oh no, that was Renee. She just did that one right now. So Gita, you did 5. For 5 minutes, and Renee, you want 7 minutes, right? Correct? Thank you, you guys. We'll get started right now. Have your questions ready. Excuse me, so that when I start the timer, you know, I can just look and start the question, and then I'll pause it, see if there's any other questions, and then we'll continue, okay? Okay. I do see you, Renee and Gita. I see your guys' donations, and thank you. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the timer first for Gita, who donated for 5 minutes. So I'll start the timer for 5 minutes, and I'll read your question first. Then I'll start the timer. We'll begin, I'll pause it, and look back to see if there's any other questions. And so make sure you have your questions, you know, typed out so that when I go back with it paused and I look into the chat for the other questions, you know, they'll be there so we can just kind of continue to flow. And same with you, Renee, except you'll have 7 minutes. So, yeah, make sure we have our questions ready, okay? And so your question, Geeta, is, what's Sanjeev future Cancer intentions toward me, Gemini? Future intentions, okay. Let's see. Future intentions of this Cancer person toward you, Gemini person. Sorry, I'll start that over. Intentions toward you, Gemini, from this Cancer person. I'm feeling like this person's very eager and very, you know, straightforward in their communication. When they communicate, you know, it seems like right now they're not communicating, or you have a bit of closed off energy from them. The reason I was saying the things before, I didn't get those cards flipping over, but I saw them and I felt like it was important. But this card came out first, actually, you know, came out. So I feel like even when this person normally is straightforward, kind of blunt, you know, in their communication, maybe you haven't seen that side yet because obviously they're kind of closed off or not giving or taking any offers right now, or they're just basically distant. You know, you're not getting much from them. It's hard to know where you stand with them. But it seems like they're working really hard at something. So let's get their intentions with you for the future. What do we need to know about this Cancer person's intentions toward this Gemini person? I think they're just busy, you know, closed off right now, not giving or taking any offers, and working very hard. They're also juggling, okay, not necessarily 2 people, just kind of their priorities. And they're taking on a lot more work than they need. I feel like right now, they're definitely working a lot on their priorities. They're handling their business, and they're not really able to be focused on, you know, a relationship or any kind of connection. You know, this is a person who's very responsible, has a lot of priorities and things and responsibilities that they need to take care of. And I wouldn't doubt that they have feelings, but it seems like they're very, you know, they have a lot of responsibilities they need to take care of. I think it would be their hope that at least you guys could be friends and have some kind of relationship in that way. I mean, in the beginning, I felt like there was this sense of urgency to get this going, and then it stopped all of a sudden. Making a deliberate decision to be friends first. I feel like they'd like to be friends first. They have a lot going on so that they feel like it's better to be friends first, and I feel like their deliberate decision to do that is the best that they think they can do right now, or that's something that they feel like is a better option to begin with. Like, they see a lot of hope in that, and they feel very positive about that, about you guys just kind of getting to know each other in a genuine way. I feel like there's just too much on their plate right now for them to really be able to give themselves completely to a person with everything, and that's kind of something that they're juggling. You know, should I do this or this? You know, I have all these priorities. Which one's more important? And it's just, there's no time for just you two. That's why it's the 3 of Cups. You know, it's a friendship. It's a genuine friendship. But it's not 2 people connecting. It's like, this is light-hearted, and this is not as serious as 2 people in this. You know, it's a friendship basically first. But with the Ace of Cups here, there is potential for love. I don't think that they don't have feelings. I just think there's a lot going on in their situation, and they feel like it's best at this time to focus on this kind of a connection first. And see if you can uplift each other, bring happiness to each other's lives, relieve some stress instead of adding it. I feel like they're going to want to see if the expectations you have for them are going to be something that they can handle. So they're going to take it lightly first. But there definitely are feelings here. That scares you, I think, you know? You feel like you're going to be hurt. I don't think they feel like they're going to be hurt. I think it's you who feels like you're going to be hurt here. You know, you're on guard. I think you don't really trust that kind of a way of connecting, or you don't really want to just be friends. You're like, what are their intentions? They just want to be friends. Okay, they're not, like, they just want, you know, to not commit, but that's not the case. At least to me, it doesn't seem like that is the case, okay? So let's see. Oh. Okay. Alright, so we still have a few seconds here, okay? So yeah, I feel like it's you who's afraid of this, overall. So they want to be friends. Yeah, I feel like you're going to walk away from this, or you're going to make distance because you feel like it's unsafe, or you feel like it's not something you can trust. All you really need to know is that the person is very occupied with other things right now, and they're not able to fully give of themselves, and they don't feel like it would be fair to tell you that they will. But I think that that's what they hope for in the future. They just want to see if you guys can be friends first, and if your guys' lives can actually pair well together. You know, it's a wise decision. It's not a bad decision on their part, because they have so many responsibilities and things that they need to do. And so they're wanting to see if, like, you would add to that list, or if you would help relieve some of the, you know, stress. And not that it's your job, but just, you know, they want to see if it would be a good connection at all. I think that they have a lot more to think about in regards to what would be a good connection or not than you necessarily do, because they have so much on their plate, or so many responsibilities, that it's like they can't really just afford to waste time with somebody who's going to add to their stress or add to their list of things that they need to do during the day. I mean, they have a lot of responsibilities to take care of, so they have to kind of think about this in a more serious way. So with that being said, right now I think it's just going to continue to be a lighthearted thing. It's not going to be this very deep thing for now. They're going to just kind of see what happens. It reminds me of that Aquarius energy that we saw there with the star. You know, the star came out, and it was like, maybe that's why that came out. I mean, it's obviously positivity, hope, good omen to the situation, but, you know, have hope, have faith, but it's also maybe that Aquarius energy of just being friends with everybody, and it being very lighthearted and impersonal. You know, they don't really connect on a, well, Sun in Aquarius, okay? So their other placements could show different, but Sun in Aquarius energy is very impersonal, just friends with everybody, lighthearted fun, you know, good fun, impersonal love, right? So, love to everybody, but not, you know, deep and close. It's kind of just friends with everyone, right? So that's kind of the energy that I'm seeing them towards you right now. Them have towards you right now, at least. I want to see where it goes, but definitely that Ace of Cups is there. So there is a chance for love. There is an opportunity for it, and there is going to be a time and place to see if that will work out for the both of you. If that's something you guys both want, or feel will work well, feel can make happen, or feel it all, you know. So here we have, how does Theo currently feel about me? Renee. Okay. Start Renee. How does Theo currently feel about me? How does Theo currently feel about Renee? How does Theo currently feel about Renee? How does Theo currently Okay. There's that lighthearted fun again. Somebody feels like they don't have a voice. Somebody feels like they don't have, either they're tongue-tied or they just don't have the balls to say something, or maybe they just don't feel like it's their place, or you know, they don't want to cross boundaries. They feel like they'd be crossing boundaries if they said certain things. The communication is lacking because they're held back. You guys are friends right now, and they feel like they don't want to push boundaries, scare you off maybe, or they feel like you won't like them, you might reject them, or what they say won't matter or be. So basically they're worried that it will be embarrassing maybe. I mean, there's nothing showing that necessarily, but it's just saying they're feeling held back and like they shouldn't say something. Probably about their feelings, right? Because Ace of Cups. And then they feel like you have a lot of options. So again, we're coming back to that whole point of like they feel like maybe they shouldn't say something because it won't be worth it, or it won't matter to you, or it won't, you know, help them. You know, it won't contribute to what they're wanting out of the situation, right? And this is something that kind of out of nowhere. What? That's the Aries card, but also a card talking about, you know, somebody in this situation has a lot of self-control. And this is out of nowhere. This is from this lack of power to in full power. Overnight, out of nowhere, no like real, you know, no real like sign of that happening. It just kind of happens. And so what is going on here? I don't understand. Why is this a random, you know, sudden forceful switch from the person? What does this mean? Either the person has time with themselves and they figure out what it is they're so afraid of, you know, or what they're so inhibited by, and they grow some balls overnight. Maybe they did a few hits of acid, they expanded their mind, and they fucking felt way better the next day. Just kidding, but you know what I mean. Overnight, the Knight of Swords is all about like just, it comes in with force, no one can see it coming in, so no one can prevent it or stop it or control it or anything. And overnight, what we see coming in suddenly is this newfound sense of control, confidence, you know, this ability to, you know, take the lead and say what needs to be said, you know, versus the person who feels like they can't do that. And it all has to do with this thing that was missing on the inside of them. And they went and found it, and obviously that had to do with security there. The opportunity for security. So this could be a connection that actually goes a little bit further than the one night stand or whatever, you know, a fling. It's not necessarily that. I mean, there's an opportunity here for stability. So I would say that, you know, this person's thinking about that. They're thinking about, but not right now. I think right now it's not a good time for them. They're feeling insecure. They're feeling like they can't cross a boundary, but they're in a state of mind right now where they're not really, you know, healed all the way from something, or they're not in the best place emotionally. And then once they do reach that threshold and cross that, you know, boundary or that wall that they have up for themselves right now, then you can see a lot of change and you can see their confidence showing. They no longer worry that you have options. They more so feel like they can provide, or they can bring about a healthy situation that you guys can actually make something work with. And with the Two of Cups here, it's like they feel the confidence to be connected to you. They feel the confidence and the connection, like they try to make that connection, and I feel like you'd feel that too, obviously, with the Two of Cups here. So they will approach you at some point. It's just right now they're not in the best place to feel good about themselves. But for some reason, it kind of just out of nowhere, they start to heal about something. I don't know how that comes about, but it does. And then it's like overnight, it's a whole new person. They have this whole new confidence that you're not used to, or you're not really you never noticed before in such a way. What's the responsibility? Because the Queen of Swords, the attention they get, what is it? What's this about here? So they feel like responsible almost for your happiness. Like they want to bring happiness to you. I think it's because they see that there's a lot of different options that you have, so they want to be the one to bring you this happiness. They want to be the one that you choose, you know? They want to be responsible for bringing you all this attention and happiness. They want to be responsible. They want to be the one. They make it their personal responsibility, I should say, to provide to you happiness. They might have a little bit of a tendency to like a lot of attention or want to be praised for this, you know, all the things that they do, and maybe that's why they like it too, because and that is totally an Aries kind of character trait. But that's funny. So that's what I could be seeing, is that the person's kind of like wanting to be applauded, or wanting you to say that you're proud, or kind of wanting to, you know, get the kudos for making you happy or bringing you happiness. And that's something that comes later. But I feel like that is a tendency of theirs, to want to bring you happiness and be applauded for it. You know, you noticing it and recognizing it is going to be important to them. You complimenting them, you know, on it and being appreciative of it, you know, seems to be something that they're after. Okay. You're welcome, Renee. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for liking this video, you guys. I really appreciate that. Pratiba. A general for Pratiba. It looks like someone needs to take responsibility for something. Someone wants you to own up to something or take responsibility for something, maybe apologize for something. It could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. What else do we need to know? I feel like you're weighing your options on whether or not you'd like to take responsibility for this. Like, part of you feels like you should, and the other part feels like that's a little, like you don't want to. You're kind of being a bit stubborn, or you don't really want to have to do that for some reason. You're weighing your options on maybe the best way to do this, or what you'll have to sacrifice in order to make this right. Yeah, I would say that you're being a bit, you want what you want out of it. You know, it's kind of hard for you to really want to say you're sorry about this, or to own up to it completely, because you feel like it's not exactly just you who needs to do that. Like, you feel like there's, you know, their part of it too, and they need to do that as well. So it's hard for you to just want to take the full blame. This could be with a good friend or a mutual friend. It's a friend thing, I believe. A good friend that you've known for a long time. Maybe the reason the Three of Cups is coming out is because it's trying to highlight the fact that it's a really good, genuine friend, and that, you know, maybe you should put extra efforts into making it right instead of just brushing it off or making it like it's not important. Because it's actually a genuine friend. The Devil here, though, tells me that it could be something that you're feeling tied to, chained to. You see how they're chained together to this Devil character. And I feel like either it's a Capricorn person, or you are, or it's a toxic relationship. It was a good friendship, but now it's a toxic one. So will you be the one to make it right by apologizing or coming clean, or, you know, yeah, somebody was fucked over. Somebody was betrayed unexpectedly. So if it was you who did that, then you should apologize and take responsibility. And if it wasn't just you, then that's why you're feeling like you shouldn't be the only one to do it. You're not really sure because you were hurt too, it seems like. So it's like you don't want to be taking the blame for all of it because it's not just you. But in this, it kind of seems like you're being greedy about what you want. You know, you're not really seeing their side. You're seeing your own side more. That's what I'm getting out of this, okay? That's what I have for you. So if you really want to make it right, you can, by doing what you need to do, basically apologizing or coming clean about something or kind of owning something. But it seems like it's also a toxic situation that you may not want to get involved with anymore or be involved with anymore. Maybe it was just pushed way too far this time, and Ten of Swords is pretty extreme. So maybe you want to question whether or not you want to even, make amends with the person, because it was such a betrayal that maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe they've changed and they're not that genuine friend anymore, or you're not. Mimia or Mimaya? Mimia? 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 My Mia? I don't know. Mania or Mania? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was an M. Nia or Naya. Nia. Naya. Niaya? Nia. Nia. Minia. Mania. Mania. My vowels. Hey, sometimes Y, right? With vowels too. And my vowels, I don't know why, girl, but my vowels are always screwed up. Like, no matter what the vowel is, usually it's like my name's Katrina. Like, let's just use it as an example. Katrina, it would be like Katrina. Like, it's just, or Katrina. Like, it's just always, I always just use vowels wrong for some reason. So it's not just you. Trust me. Anaya. So, Menaya. Minaya. Minaya or Menaya? Manaya. Anyway, now I have to give you a general because your energy's here. So, somebody is closed off, not giving or taking any offers. You could be blocked. Maybe you're doing this to someone else. Then we have, somebody wanting to lend a hand or somebody who lent a hand and it wasn't returned, or it's wanting to be returned, or there's some kind of expectation of like it being returned eventually. And this is causing a lot of stress for somebody because there's like one person who feels like they've given so much and the other person is now not giving anything. And so it's kind of like this thing where you feel you're owed, or you feel like maybe a little resentment toward that, or you feel like basically stressed because you're carrying all the weight now and this person is not coming to lend you a hand. It feels a little bit like betrayal, or just like somebody who is not there for you like you thought. Maybe some certain resources you thought you had, you don't have now, and you feel like you kind of have to do everything yourself, and that's stressful, that's exhausting. But there is, I urge you to kind of look towards something that is going to bring you some new kind of idea or some new kind of security. Like maybe you have a different path or a different way you want to go, a different idea you want to indulge in or begin, some kind of project or some kind of thing that you want to, see where it goes and hopefully eventually get that pentacle there. So you're kind of moving on. You're kind of like, okay, I need to like figure out what I'm doing and try to look towards something that's going to bring me security and not have to depend on people. Oops. Could be a younger earth sign person involved. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What else do we need to know about this new venture project? Okay, I would say that you're looking at your own desires regarding this. Like whatever the outcome is, you want it to be beneficial to you, of course, and there's something about this that's not going to work out. It's, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And what you wish for is the support you need that you were once giving people or a person, or maybe you just feel like life in general is not giving you something that you feel you deserve, and you feel betrayed by that. But I think the reason is because of this Nine of Cups here. It's like you're asking too much, or you're expecting more than you deserve, or there's some kind of, you're going to have to realize this, and then that's heartbreaking because you don't even see yourself in that way. It's like there's this big realization here about security and about, you know, having your own pentacle here, becoming the stable person that the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Pentacles is. You know, it starts from this beginning stage, the Page of Pentacles, all the way to the Queen of Pentacles. And there had to be some kind of wake-up call here, some kind of pain that made you realize what you really need to be doing in order to become successful in the way that she is. You know, I think you're expecting more than you deserve now without putting in the work, and you're going to have a rude awakening because of that. Not to say that you deserve something bad, it's just, I think that you're kind of focused on the wrong things here, and you're trying to gain whatever it is you want to gain out of this, out of sheer desire, instead of willing to, you know, do the hard work, or willing to do it on your own, you know, and do it in a way that's really going to bring you success without having to be obligated. Like, this is something that's heartbreaking for you, I feel like, because it's something of a wake-up call. That, you know, to get here, it's going to take more than you originally thought. And that's something you're not really ready for, because right now you're kind of in the position of feeling like you just want whatever the world has to give you. And it's not really returning the results that you want, and that's because you're not working in the direction that you need to work, which is putting effort into whatever idea this is and working toward it all the way. Not blaming other people for why it didn't work, but just improving on it all the time, you know, and just working at it, and just, you know, continuing to work at it. There's a lot of work here to do in this situation, and I feel like you don't see that you're not exactly deserving of it until you prove that you are, right? And not to me, not to, you know, some random person that you don't even know, that you know, it's like you have to prove it to yourself, you know, and the only way to do that is to get serious about it, and to stop thinking that you deserve it without any work, or that you know, just, there's something that you feel good, or that you can have, like, you know, without really, like, you feel like you're owed something, or you feel like you can get something easily, and you're going to see that it's really not that easy to get it. But you're going to learn from that and be able to eventually, you know, make a decision that's better for you. But as of right now, I feel like you're going to have a rude awakening about what you do and do not deserve to just have, and how much work it actually takes in order to have these certain things, or these outcomes, or these achievements, or these, you know, something that you're proud to say you did on your own, something that you're going to need to do on your own, that you're really not used to that whole idea, you know, but that will bring you the most success in this. That Queen of Pentacles, she was by herself, and she looks lonely, and she is, you know, I mean, she's grinding and working really hard. She doesn't have much of a social life because of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just something that I think you're not really used to, that whole idea. And that's something you need to get used to, is working solo. And working hard in order to achieve this. Getting what you deserve, you know, not just what you want, basically. Okay. So let me just check PayPal really quick. For you, Queen, or I'm sorry, not Queen, Divine Lioness, that's right. Cute name. It's a cute name. So I'm just going to check it really quick and make sure we're all good. Yes, we are. Is it a good idea to reconcile with Josh Libra? Thank you for your donation, by the way. I do appreciate it. We're going to get started. And first of all, do you have any other questions along with this one, or you want to wait? You're not really sure yet? Like you want to ask as you go? Because I will pause in between and I'll check the comments and kind of see, you know, if there's another question or anything like that. But if you know that you do have another question right now, then go ahead and just type that in the chat as well, so that we can, you know, I can pause, come back, and we can just kind of flow. If you don't have a question yet, for sure, it's no big deal. You know, we can come to that later. I'll pause and check. But I'm just letting you know now, you know, if you have it now, then you can ask it now and everything like that. So, okay, yes, depending on answer. Okay, perfect. So you're a Leo, he is a Libra. Is it a good idea to reconcile with Josh? Let's start the clock here for 15 minutes. And also, along with this reading, this one that you chose, the 15-minute, I'm also going to offer a Chakra Wisdom Oracle message, which is a very awesome deck. This deck is so, the messages that come from it are just so, like, they touch on every single aspect of a situation that I couldn't even cover with just tarot, which is awesome. So that's just an added bonus for the 15-minute donation questions. So let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll do that. If you don't mind, if you'd like to do that. If not, let me know, and, you know, we don't have to do it. But, so, should you reconcile? You said, is it a good idea? Is it a good idea to reconcile with Josh Libra? Starting 15 minutes. Okay. Is it a good idea to reconcile with Josh Libra? And she's a Leo. First thing that came out right away is awesome. So 10 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is talking about the past and how you guys, you know, at one point were very happy. You know, at one point you were very, you know, kind of in awe of the whole situation, like maybe this is too good to be true, or it was just kind of like there was a lot of hope there. There was a lot of, you know, you guys feeling like this could really go somewhere and make us happy. Like there's a lot of potential here, you know? And I feel like that's still something that's possible, you know? Like there's a good chance that you guys both still feel that way. But very quickly here, we can see how this turned a bit sour, you know? Because the devil here, you don't see the devil yet, but basically the Knight of Swords is overnight, you know? Like he's coming in with force, nothing can stop him. He's just coming in so quick. And like nothing, you know, you couldn't see it coming. It's something so sudden and out of nowhere, and it's, you know, with such force that you couldn't really see it coming. You couldn't really prevent it. You couldn't really control it or stop it. It just happened. And what happened was this devil character here, you see how they're tied, or they're chained rather, to this devil character here. They're chained to him. That represents addictions, some kind of toxic behavior that is hard to change, you know, or a tendency, or maybe just a negative energy in general in the situation. But it's something that happened like this. All this happiness and potential quickly turned sour, and something was a problem. And it was a difficult problem. It wasn't just something that was simple. It was like something that you can't really just shake off. It's a temptation. It's an urge. It's a, you know, it's a, something was driving this, and something was, it was harder than just shaking it, like an addiction, for example. So I feel like it turned sour really quick. I'm just going to check your comments. We're on 12:40. Okay. I'm going to check your comments really quick as it's paused. You said there was hope and then many problems. Yes, this makes sense. Okay. All right. So let's see. Now we're gonna resume. Okay. So now we want to look into the future. You know, we want to see what has changed. Has anything improved since this situation last, you know, was where it was at? Queen of Wands, King of Cups. So we do see there's caring from a distance. The King of Cups always reminds me of caring from a distance. It's not like the Queen of Cups, you know, very motherly, in your face, lovey-dovey, touchy-feely. Like, you know that this person cares because, or you know the Queen of Cups cares because she's right there holding you and nurturing you, feeding you, you know, caressing you, holding you, you know, being there. But the King of Cups is a bit different. It's, to me, I always see it as, you know, caring from a distance. So a person who's not all up in your face and right there, but it's like, you know, that person cares. And you may not necessarily know that, but I feel like this, in their energy, they do care. But at the same time, the Queen of Wands shows that they're very fiercely independent and they want to do things their way. They don't ask permission. They don't, like, wait around or, you know, check in. Like, they're kind of on their own tip, and they're in their own world. They're on their own page, and they don't feel the need to change that. They do care, but they don't feel the need to. It's kind of like hard to be in a relationship with somebody who's like that, because it's, you know, it's something that's, it's a good trait to have, to be able to not let things get in your way and slow you down from your priorities and what you want to do. But when you're in a relationship with two people, it's kind of a hard energy, because you kind of have to just be okay with the person who's not going to, you know, feel the need to let you in on everything. They're just going to do it anyway. And, you know, I think this person is focused on what they what they need right now. You know, they're focused on trying to get money or security in some way, like build some kind of a foundation. So maybe that's something that's changed, you know, if they weren't very focused on that before. I would say that they still care, but this is kind of questionable if they can really be in a relationship and be considerate, you know, of what you kind of would need from them. So it's kind of like that lack of consideration, or that lack of willingness to really be kind of like, you know, seeing it from your side, or kind of compromising with you. You said, am I seeing him clearly? I feel like I just learned he's very narcissistic. I feel he wants to control me. Is he with me to use me for money or stable foundation? Okay. I feel he wants to control me. Am I seeing him clearly? Is he with me to use me for money or stable foundation? So we want to know what this person's intentions are overall. What are his intentions overall in being with you? Like, is she seeing, is it all that it seems? What does she need to know about this person? Give us the energy of them and their intentions, please. Tell us what we need to know. Queen of Cups, nice. Fool. Okay, so that could be you. That could be you. Tell us what we need to know about him. Confirm if he's scared of being hurt. What would he be scared of being hurt by? What does he think is going to happen? Does he think... Okay. So we get this energy of a person who's, like, kind of, going for something. I feel like that was you, though. I feel like you were the person who was the Queen of Cups meeting this King of Cups, which is good. But, in regards to the question you're asking, it's like, you're the one taking the leap of faith here. You're the one who's kind of taking a big risk here in being this nurturing person who's there all the time, touchy-feely, up in your face, like showing you that I care because I'm there, you can feel it. Whereas the King of Cups is kind of like, I care, but I'm not really always there, you know? And so the Queen of Cups is a lot more like it's obvious, you know? And I feel like that's you. And the Fool as well. I feel like you're the one taking the risk here, kind of, you know? And there's a bit of naivety with this because, you know, you don't see this cliff. You don't see kind of what's obviously there, right? And you're telling me this, that you feel like there's some narcissism, right? There's some issue with that. But I don't feel like this is... Like, there's a feeling of something bad is going to happen, right? It's not even like if. It's like when, right? It's kind of like, you know, there's been hurt in the past. The bandage on his head, it shows that there's been hurt in the past. He's been hurt. And so he's on high alert all the time because it's not even if, it's when. I know something bad's going to happen. When is it going to happen? I need to be prepared. That's the energy of that card. And so this is kind of saying, like, look, you know, somebody, I don't know why it's not telling me about him really. It's telling me more about you, but I feel like maybe it's just trying to confirm what you're already saying to me. This was kind of an impulsive thing. It was probably out of, you know, again, something that comes out of nowhere, right? Something that just presents itself, and it's kind of a decision that was made without much forethought. Maybe that's why you're here asking, should I do this or not? This Ace of Pentacles does show that there is opportunity for stability, but this Page of Wands kind of seems like it was a decision that you made without thinking much, and maybe you need to go back and think about that a little more. You're kind of worried about this. There's a lot here that kind of shows what you're saying is not bullshit. Like, I mean, I wouldn't think it is anyway, but it kind of is, it's almost highlighting the things that you're saying back to you, so I feel like it's a confirmation, possibly, and we'll look into that further. I just want to kind of note that, you know, it definitely was an impulsive decision on your part, but obviously you're trying to, like, think about it now. This Ace of Pentacles here kind of makes me think, there's an opportunity for security, but in what way? You know, I want to look into that a little bit more too. I just want to read your comments really quick. He may be scared I'm not coming back. Okay. Well, somebody's about to make an impulsive decision, or you did already. You know, like, maybe to make this, you know, somebody's afraid, but then somebody's still making an impulsive decision. Like, not thinking about it first, and really just kind of, going for it without thinking. And then there's this Ace of Pentacles, so I feel like could be you, because it's, you know, you're the one offering the stability and the security, but it's like kind of without thinking about it, you know, just going for it. But maybe it's not you. Maybe he's the one who wants to jump into something, you know, for this purpose. But let's see what the Ace of Pentacles is here for exactly, so we can be sure what this is about. You know, this Ace of Pentacles, what this is about. Oops, sorry about that text. So I'll go back to 640. 6. Okay, 640. So we're seeing this. We want to know what the Ace of Pentacles is here for. There's a decision that's made impulsively, and we want to know what the Ace of Pentacles is representing here. What is this impulsive decision along with the Ace of Pentacles, and why is it important here? It says you already know the answer. There's something about collaborating, exchanging ideas with somebody. It says you already know. Do you feel like there's a third party? You don't have to tell me, but just think about that yourself. Because the High Priestess is here saying basically you already know the answer. Like, whatever you feel intuitively is probably spot on. That's what it comes down to with the High Priestess. Whenever I'm reading for somebody and the High Priestess comes out, it's, you know, it tells me at least that the person is aware of what I'm saying is, you know, they're understanding, they're resonating, it makes sense to them, and, you know, it's like they already kind of know, and you would know something without being told directly. It's not like somebody tells you this so you know, but it's just something that you feel. And so what is the Three of Pentacles here for? Sagittarius, but also talking about, you know, your if it's not another person, if it's not a Sag here, we're talking about, and again, if this was a Sag, it would be something that you probably already know or feel, or there's some Sagittarius person that you're like, oh, that makes sense. Or, you know, you'd kind of put the pieces together. It wouldn't be like this shocking thing. If it is, probably not what it is, okay? So what we're talking about here, though, with the Temperance card as well, is that there is some kind of overall feeling of harmony. There's a well-being. You know, this is what we're talking about with the Temperance card. So in that regard, I would feel like what needs to happen is collaboration and exchanging of ideas, communicating, you know, trying to work together, right, to make this more of a possibility. I still think that you should listen to your intuition. I don't think that there's, you know, there's something there that you probably know that you're not being told directly, and I don't want you to disregard that. Let's look about his... Are you seeing him clearly? What do you need to know about him? There's tension there. There's tension, but what is that talking about? Yeah, okay. So this could be you. This could be you that wants this, right? And you can see the possibility of it, but it's like I said in the beginning, you know, that person, that the Queen of Wands, very, like, focused on their priorities, not really needing to come and check in with you and coordinate and collaborate. No, that's not really their energy there. And you could be wanting this. You feel like it's possible, right? If certain things happen, and maybe you're a bit afraid of it not being possible, of course, because, you know, you're not an idiot. But, you know what's happened and how he is, but at the same time, you're kind of like the one who's, it's wishful thinking and it's hoping, right? And you ask about clarity, and it's like, with the moon there, exact opposite. The moon always, and it's Pisces as well, if that means anything. If it doesn't, that's fine. But there's tension here, and I feel like that's more saying there's inner conflict within you, because you know that if you're going to go through with this, it's like you're going to have to be constantly censoring yourself or telling yourself to, like, put your feelings aside. There's a lot of, you know, clarity that's needed. The moon is lack of clarity. The sun is clarity in full effect. Everything's out in the open. Everything's bright for everyone to see. No denying it. The moon is the exact opposite. It's lack of clarity. There's, you know, wishy-washy. You don't know where you stand with the person. You don't know how they feel. They're hot and cold. They're back and forth. Makeup, breakup. I mean, it's just, you don't know where you guys stand. You're confused. You don't know what's going to happen next, and you don't know what the fuck to expect. So that makes sense that you're feeling so, you know, like, unsure about the situation, whether or not you should trust it. So I feel like definitely there's, you know, there's something telling you not to, like, it's like you constantly have to go against yourself in order to actually make it work with the person. Like, I feel like if you're gonna make it work with the person, you'd have to constantly be telling yourself to shut up and don't worry about it and just forget, like, you know, just put yourself down, put your feelings back, like you're being dramatic. Like, you have to invalidate yourself, dismiss yourself in order to make it, like, more to make it work better and not have so many problems between you. But then you have a problem with yourself, because you know something ain't right, or you know that you can't, you're dismissing yourself and putting yourself, you know, down in order to make it run smoothly. So it's an inner conflict within yourself. There's, like, all these kinds of different, you know, dialogue that you're, like, you know, it's a conflict. You said, I was going to ask about a third party, but he's begging to stay with me. Nithya, yes, donations are still open. This makes sense. I'm very confused. Yes, I go against myself. So we have a couple minutes left. Do you want to look at... I feel like maybe we can look at that in the Chakra Wisdom will give us that information. So what would you like to look at for this last part? I'll just ask you, because I want you to feel like you got the reading that you wanted and all the questions you needed answered. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. It's paused right now, so go ahead and if you have another question, or you want to, you know, where do you want me to take this for the last few minutes? It's up to you, and I'd like you to make that decision so that you can feel like you got the reading that you wanted, you know, that you needed, or all the questions you wanted to ask. about that. That was my other alarm. Nothing to do with this one. Okay. Divine Lioness, let me know what you want to look at for the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this reading, and then we'll go ahead and do your chakra wisdom. What will my future look like if I stay? Perfect question. What I do with questions like this, looking into the future, we want to look at what your energy is going to be like in this said future, right? So we're going to look at how you are going to feel. Wow. Okay. Right away, we get this 5 of Cups, which is disappointment, focused, laser focused on something that's happened in the past that you cannot change. It's said and done, it's spilt milk, right? And you're focused on that. In the present moment, focused on that. So this is the future, right? In the present moment, focused on that. Disappointment. There's 2 things, 2 new opportunities, maybe 2 new people, 2 new, directions you can go, and you're just not seeing it. You're just seeing this disappointment. You feel like it's your fault, mainly. You feel like you did something wrong. You're disappointed in yourself, and I don't feel like it is all your fault, but this is how you're taking it in the future. So if that is a narcissist, we're talking about that's normal, devaluing. Of course, they're not going to blame themselves. They're going to blame you. So, the whole thing is like you're blaming yourself for the disappointment that you feel in this connection. What else? There's that 3 of Cups again. So, well, actually it was 3 of Pentacles before, but... And then we do have the Aries card, but it could also just be talking about somebody who is calling the shots or in charge. We're talking about disappointment. I feel like, I hate to leave you like that with such little time. Let's look about a possible third party. Or it could be saying your strength. The timer's gonna go off, but I need to look at this. Okay, cool. So basically, no, I don't think it's a third party. It seems more like, because the 3 of Cups is about friends, good, genuine friends. So I feel like in this disappointment, if you take this advice, this could actually be helpful to you, and I think you should. The 3 of Cups is good friends, genuine friends. So say you're feeling this disappointment, you need to get with your people who actually give a fuck about you, because this whole relationship, you're being dismissed and invalidated. These are genuine friends, not drinking buddies, genuine friends that give a fuck. So go towards people like that, people that actually can give you that support you need at this time that you're feeling so low on yourself. If you do that, it looks like you're going to be back on top. Like the Emperor is a person who calls the shots. He has his shit together. He takes care of others. He has the whole empire of people to take care of. I feel like this is more a switch on your part. This is something that you're going to be in your power. Like the King of Wands is all about determination, drive, ambition. He will get what he wants just because he wants it. And I feel like this is going to be short-lived. You've been through this before. You're not going to let it bring you down again. And once it starts to, you need to get with your people so that you can see reality for what it is. In these types of connections, you're feeling like it's all your fault. That is just unreasonable. And if somebody's not willing to look at their side of it, it's like, good fucking luck, Like, you're going to feel like that. But here's the deal. There is something you can do about it, and I hope that you will decide to do that, because this can help you a lot, and this can really, be the difference between you letting it bring you down completely and ruining your self-esteem and, like, just, continuing in that direction, versus your friends and family or whoever cares the fuck about you in a serious way, like really genuinely cares, will uplift you, will remind you of yourself, and will bring you out of this and bring you back into a point of owning your power again, being back on top. Who knows what you're going to do about the situation, if you're going to just say fuck you, or, it's not really showing that part, it's just showing your energy of being very determined to not let this get you down. But this is only going to happen if you get with people that are going to, give you an actual dose of who you really are. And the dose of what you need to hear at that time. People that actually genuinely care and see you for who you are. not this person who made you feel like this. You know, you might need, it doesn't even show like you're going to take a break, go with your friend. It doesn't show exactly how it's going to play out. I think it's leaving it up to you that basically this is what needs to be done. And it's really not that difficult to do. And it's something that can really make a difference, you know, and be the difference between you closing in on yourself or not allowing that ever again, you know, and just coming out on top and just showing like sheer determination to just be the best you that you can be, and not allowing this to get you down, not allowing this to put you in a place that you've been before, that you will not be in again, because you have control over that, and you're going to get with the people that will remind you who you are, and real quick you just come back out. You know what I mean? Like, this is not going to get you down if you follow this advice. I don't think that you're going to have an issue, maybe because you've been through it before, maybe because, you know, you have experience with this kind of a thing, but just remember that, you know, the cards that come out for a reason in a certain way, and this one came out first. Okay, so you can't get here unless you get here first. So this disappointment, short-lived, if you do what you need to do. You know, people in situations like this are often isolated. They like to keep it that way, keep you isolated away from these types of people, because they know these types of people can get you to this point. When you're in this, you know, position, is not very helpful to them. You know, it's not going to help them get their needs met. So that's what needs to be done, and you can't do it without that step. Okay, so don't forget about that step. That's an important step. His moon is in Aries. Moon in Aries, Jesus. My brother has his moon in Aries too. His moon is in Aries. I feel like that's more, that's funny though. I feel like though that's more talking about you. You know, I think that's about you being in a powerful position. With the King of Wands after that too, that's beautiful. That's like you are not going to allow it to bring you down anymore. Like you are deciding, and you are like out of sheer ambition, like you're not about to let this get you to the point you've been before. That's how I see that, which is awesome. Divine Lioness, your name goes well with that whole that whole energy right there that I was just explaining. Like you're already, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna have an issue, I don't think. I just feel like you've been through it before, and you're not gonna allow that again. Like you're already asking these questions, and anyway, we will, Nithya, I will get to your question or your reading, but first I'm going to give Divine Lioness a chakra wisdom oracle, and that'll just take a couple minutes. So sit tight, and thank you for your donation. I will definitely get started on your reading in just a few minutes. Okay, just letting you know, just checking in with you. Okay, so all right, let me make sure these cards are upright first of all. Divine. I love this deck. This deck is awesome. I mean, you're gonna see why right now. It is always spot on. It's never failed to be spot on with people I've read for, and it just gives so much good advice and information that's just like, wow, would have never thought of that, or to say that in that way. Like, it just covers everything, and it's just, I love it. And everyone I've read for has good things to say about it. I've never gotten a bad reading with these. So let's see. What does... Oh, wait. There's one over there. Ow. Oh, there's two. Okay. What does Divine Lioness need to hear? What is the message for her today? What does Divine Lioness need to hear today? What is the message for her? Should we do it? I mean, I saw that one come out. Completion? That was the one that was flipped over in there. All right, that's the one that came out. So completion. I want you to look at this card for a little while. You see the grave that she's at. I just want you to look at it for a second and, you know, see everything that it has, that it's showing there. Okay. It's an orange chakra. You got completion. So first I'm going to go ahead and read you what the orange chakra represents. Okay, there's a little passage here. It says, learn to observe your emotions. Remember, we're talking about this in your reading. We're talking about, you know, you having to dismiss your feelings and having to, like, you're being invalidated and constantly having to shut yourself down. So saying, learn to observe your emotions. The overall impression of the orange chakra is emotional. Keywords are active, motivating, optimistic, emotional, sociable, enthusiastic, affectionate, and humanitarian. The manifesting intention. The orange cards represent our emotions and how we relate to them. In the second chakra, which is this one, you can learn emotional discipline if you choose. It is a choice, right? You need to master the skill of steering your emotions as you would a ship on the high seas. This is very important in manifesting. You need to know how you feel, control that shit, be able to recognize it if you're going to manifest anything, right? The orange cards reveal your emotional experience in a particular situation. If you are struggling with your feelings, look back to the red chakra, which is the root chakra, for the answer. Why? Because you source your emotional experience from a particular foundation or belief created in your root chakra. This helps you to understand where your emotions are coming from, where they're coming from. You may need to go back a chakra. Next, observe your feelings rather than act on them. Remember, no impulsive decisions, right? Observe your feelings rather than act on them. And your angels can speak directly to you through the emotions revealed in these cards. However, you must stand fearlessly and observe your emotions. If you can do this, you have begun the journey into manifestation. You can walk the path you have previously only wished for. Master emotional discipline, and you master how to manifest anything. Okay? Very powerful there. All right, now orange cards at a glance. We're looking at completion. It's the last of the orange chakra. The character is Final Sunset, and the message says, it's kind of like a summary. Here is a warm and cheerful energy that brings calm to an ending, making it poignant, not sad. Something is taking place outside your comfort zone, so step into the emotional grace of completion. There is no drama here, only resolution. Okay? So now we're going to read the whole passage. All right. So completion. The character is Final Sunset, or the symbol, and a life comes to a spectacular close. The legend. He was raised in an orphanage and never wore new boots until he enlisted in the army in 1942. By the end of the war, he was a decorated veteran and had survived what many of his brothers had not. Later, he became an actor. He was well loved, but history will remember him as a war hero. When he was finally laid to rest, Goddess smiled upon him as she received him into the heavens. The inspiration says, "This is a reminder to cherish all the beauty in your life, including endings. Reflect upon your part in history and discover what you value most. Do not fear completion, embrace it." So the personal inquiry here, this is for you to ask yourself, am I present in the moment? How do I respond to the idea of completion? The key ideas are honoring your legacy, a natural ending to a grand a natural ending to a grand adventure, a new beginning on the horizon, a new adventure, honoring those who give to us. The keywords are achievement, determination, and fulfillment. Right there. That's exactly... That was the end of your reading. Did you see that? You know, the King of Wands and the Emperor, how it was, you know, determination, fulfillment. This is about you. This is about you, you know, feeling your best and being on top and, like, not letting something get you down. Like, you're not going to allow it. It's just a very powerful kind of feeling. You know, it's a very strong... Like, you are just standing completely in your power. And so I feel like that's kind of what it's touching on, you know? The completion. Like, you're not going to allow the end of it to be something that gets you down or something that makes you feel like less than. Like, it's like you're almost accepting it. You're learning from it. You're taking what you can from it. And it's like you're not going to allow it to, you know, define you, basically. And you're going to define yourself. So here, I love that keywords: achievement, determination, fulfillment. So down here at the bottom, there's this little section. It's a meditation, so I'm just going to read it off to you. Allow all your feelings about endings to come to you, whatever they may be. Do you fear them or rejoice in them? Do some journaling to find clarity here. Okay, so this is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. This is what I just read to you, this whole passage. I'm sure if you really wanted to, you can find it on, like, if you look it up online, you could just type in Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and you got the card Completion. So if you wanted to read that later, sometimes when we read things to ourselves, it kind of hits in a different way, and you might see something in it that you didn't catch when I was reading it to you. So you should check that out. It's the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and you got the card Completion. I think it's safe to say that this is probably a chapter of your life that you can close out safely and not have to feel like you did something wrong or like it was your fault or that it ended or that it didn't work out. You know, it seems like you're really... It's trying to urge you toward, like, closing it out and, you know, having that, I guess, dignity or power, even though you feel maybe like it's hard to do. It's still something that you kind of are leaving with more, and that's like something that makes you feel even stronger, you know what I mean? Or something that gives you more strength, I should say. Kind of puts you in a better position, you know? Okay. So let's see. Nithya. Let me check that. Okay. You said hi. Does Ellie think about me? Will he communicate his feelings, if any, towards me? Thank you. What does Ellie think about me? Will he communicate his feelings, if any, towards me? Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, what are Ellie's feelings toward me? Or hi, does Ellie think about me, you said. Okay, will he communicate his feeling? Okay. If any towards me. Does he think about, okay. No problem, Divine Lioness. Thank you. Happy to have done it. Happy to do it. It's my pleasure. Thank you for your donation and your time and your energy and your participation and your support. All of that. Very grateful for that, you guys. Everyone who's donated tonight and everyone who's just participated and been here, waited to get called on, and you guys are awesome. So let's make this even more awesome now, Nithya. So let's see. Hi, Azalea. How you doing? So we're going to do 7 minutes, right? And you want to know, does Ellie, or is it Eli or something? Am I saying it wrong? Or is it fine? Ellie, does he think about you, and will he communicate his feelings, if any? Will he communicate his feelings, if any, towards you? Okay. 7 minutes. Actually, sorry. I'm going to switch decks really quick. Okay, I'm going to switch decks. So let me just make sure everything's upright. I think everything is upright, but let me just make sure. Oh no. Oh, there's just one. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and start. Okay, let me just check your messages really quick, see if you said anything really quick before we start. Yes, your earlier was right. Ellie sent 11 donation. Okay, Azalea, awesome, thank you. And we'll get started on yours right after this one as well. Okay. So 7 minutes for this one. Okay. 7 minutes for this one, and then 15 for Azalea. So we're gonna do 7, start. Does Ellie think of you? Does Ellie think of you? Are you on Ellie's mind? And if so, what is on their mind about you? We want to know what's on Ellie's mind about you. Are there thoughts of you in Ellie's mind? Have there been thoughts of you in Ellie's mind? Does Ellie think about you? Are you in Ellie's thoughts? Are you in Ellie's thoughts? Are you on Ellie's mind recently? Are you in Ellie's thoughts? Are you on Ellie's mind? Okay. I would say there's a reason, there's a, specific, there's a holdback, from this person. They're kind of observing the situation. I feel like they are either this toxic energy or they're trying to make sure that they're safe in some way. They want to win at all costs, or they want to be, like, I feel like the person's hard to get close to because of that, because they're like kind of this energy of not wanting to get hurt, and so maybe they're a bit aggressive or assertive, or they're kind of pushy, or they're not really like giving of themselves because of fear of being hurt, or fear of opening up to a person because of like, they just want to observe everything first. So you're saying, do they think of you? Like, what are they observing here? This kind of attitude of theirs is headed toward, well, they actually might ask you out. I mean, this Page of Cups here is all about the beginning stages of a relationship. Offering their affection to somebody new, or for the first time, or the early stages, it's like a young energy, the beginning. But this Five of Swords worries me, so I would say that they're going to approach you, but what is this Five of Swords here for? What's the Five of Swords here for? Ellie? What's the Five of Swords here for Ellie? Ellie's energy here. What's Ellie's Five of Swords energy here? So they're not communicating right now. They feel like they don't have a voice right now. And we already saw that because we saw the Hanged Man, which is telling us, yeah, that they're not ready to approach you yet, or they're not going to be coming forward yet. They feel like we're going to have to figure out why that is, because then the Emperor's here, Aries energy could be, if they're younger than you, in a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. That's what we also saw. But the Emperor here is kind of showing there is a bit of control. There's a person with control over themselves, but they want to be the one to call the shots. So they want to be the one in charge of this. They want to be the one who says, and I feel like maybe it's just within themselves. Like, they're very controlled emotionally. They're very controlled in their actions. Like, they don't just make dumb decisions. They don't just act without thinking. So they're very in control of, their reactions and their emotions and things like that. Before I saw this Knight of Wands, I saw the Magician. So I just want to touch on that with the Emperor there, I feel like this person has a lot of control over themselves, and they don't do anything reckless, really, like to where they can't, like, nothing's going to overcome their emotions in the way that it's going to have control over them, just because they have feelings for a person. So it's like they're very self-controlled and responsible in that way. Like, they don't just, like, let people, it doesn't matter how they feel about a person, they're not going to, like, change their way or, like, sway from something that they believe, and that's a good, strong trait. But it's just very hard to break through and kind of, like, get through to that person. The Magician here kind of says, you can make this into whatever you want, but I feel like with the Emperor, it's kind of what they want, right? They're focused on what they want it to be, and that's kind of what they expect it to be. So it's a difficult energy, because I feel like it's not really up to you or your choice. Like, this, whenever they do decide to do that, it'll be, like, on their terms, And we do have the Knight of Wands, which I saw a few times. I saw it a few times and I didn't regard it because it was like, it didn't come out yet. So I just said, I'm not going to look at it yet. But now it's out for sure. And we're talking about somebody who's non-committal, or somebody who gets over things easily, somebody who's like here and then they're gone, or somebody who's, very passionate at first, very into it at first, and then they're just on to the next. It's like not something that's going to last a long time, it seems like. But it seems like it will bring some level of, or it has already brought some level of harmony to your life, something that makes you feel fulfilled, or something that makes you feel like your cup is full, and your thirst is quenched by this person in your life. Like, they bring positivity to your life. And I feel like it's just going to be a short-lived situation. But with the Temperance card at the end, I don't feel like it's like that. This card is really gonna be difficult. Like, it seems like it's gonna be short-lived, but usually that would be hurtful as well. But with the Temperance card after this, I feel like that's obviously leaving you in a better place than you were before. Like, it's, I don't know if it's you can accept it when it's over and it's not that big of a deal, or if it's just like it was meant to happen and be a short-lived thing, and that's fine. You mutually agree. I mean, it's, you know, the Knight of Wands is tricky because it's, you know, you'd think that it would be a hurtful thing, but with the Temperance card after it, it's hard to see it as something that's not good, but I mean, it's just meant to be that way, and it's not that difficult. Like, it's something that you guys just kind of are able to accept, and you understand that it leaves you in a better place. Like, it's like this person had to come into your life for a reason, maybe uplift you and inject you with some kind of sunshine or whatever you want to call it, and then they're gone, and it's done, and that's okay, is what that looks like to me. I feel like they will be approaching you and offering you some kind of affection, but it may be short-lived and it may not go very far. It may not be very serious. It may just be lighthearted and fun, but it seems like it's something that is beneficial to you. We've never been in a relationship. There was a connection. Gemini, Cancer, cusp. Okay. And then Azalea, so I feel like he will approach you, though, Nithya. It may take a while, however long it's going to take for him. Everything's on his terms, right? But it does look like that's, you know, likely to happen, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be something that lasts forever or very long, and that's okay. Strange to see it like that, but yeah, with the Knight of Wands there, but that resonated. Awesome. Whoever's here right now, could you guys like this video, please? I'd really appreciate you liking this video. It'd be so helpful to me, because YouTube likes, you know, they tend to think people like the video if people like it. So I'd really appreciate it if you did that. Okay, and then Azalea. Okay. So you sent 1111. And, so we're going to do that. And also, Azalea, since you did the 1111, I mean, you know, the 15-minute reading, you also get a Chakra Wisdom Oracle as a bonus. If you're interested in that, that's definitely a possibility. If not, just let me know and we can skip it or do something else. But, so yeah, that's just for me to say thanks. And I love the Chakra Wisdom. You'll love it too. It's a great little single message it gives you there, but so many messages at the same time. Like, it covers everything that I couldn't even begin to cover with just tarot. So that's why I like it. So, what does my crush Dominic Aries think of me? Okay. What does my crush Dominic Aries think of me? 15 minutes on the clock. Azalea. There we go. What does my crush Dominic Aries think of me? Come on, carpet. Okay, first of all, that one flew out. That was weak. Okay. It either takes a long time for them to kind of show their feelings, or it takes a long time for them to have feelings. You know, it takes a long time, or it takes a lot of waiting for this to get off the ground, okay, for you to see any action in this situation. But once you do, it's something that kind of happens, like, very quickly, without much forethought. It's impulsive, you know, there's not much thinking going on. It's like, it's almost like you have to do it. Like, you just feel like you have to do it, and you don't think about it very much. This could be how they feel as well, or what's going to happen with them. You know, you said, what do they think of you? So it's like, it's taken them some time to either show this, or, I mean, they're in Aries, so it shouldn't take them much time to show something. You know, if they really want to go for it, they're going to do it. So maybe it took some time for them to notice you, or recognize their feelings for you, or how much, you know, they're into that kind of connection they feel with you. And then boom, they just want to go for it, and then they want some space, and then they close off, and you don't hear from them for a while. There's, you know, lack of anything, not giving or taking any offers, being stubborn, being, you know, being ignored. Like, you don't get anything from them after this, and it took so long too for them to even. So I want to know what happened in between here and here. You know, like, what caused the break? We do see the Seven of Wands, which shows, you know, between this, they're pushing away somebody who they feel is bad for them, and it could be because, you know, maybe they don't trust people very well, so when they get close to a person and feel a connection, it's, like, scary. I'm gonna back the fuck up because I'm not used to this feeling and I don't trust it. So, boom, you're gonna be pushed away, and I shouldn't even do it. It's unnecessary. You're a good person. I don't need to push you away, but I'm doing it because I'm not used to this feeling of it being something I can trust, and being, like, it feeling good, and, you know, like, it scares me. And then they feel stuck, or they feel like their hands are tied, they feel like they're trapped, and they're not. But it's kind of like the classic, the idea to me seems like the classic, like, person who, you know, they can't commit, like, they just feel like scared to commit. They're not used to feelings like that. Like, they're not used to getting close to people. It's just a scary fucking thing, or it's something that's they don't do, really. And so they feel this connection with you, and then they're like, I can't do that. I have to back up. I have to push you away. You're gonna hurt me. Like, it's like, and you only did something good, but because they're not used to that kind of energy, it's bad. Because they're not comfortable with it. They're not used to it. They don't know how to cope with it, so they push it away. Feel trapped, like their hands are tied, like they can't do anything about it. They don't have control over it, even though they do. This is self-imposed restriction, so there's nothing really stopping them. Although that's what they're telling themselves, and that's what they think is true, that they can't do anything about it. I'm not sure what they think they can't do anything about, but maybe they know that they have this tendency, because this Nine of Swords is like, you're down on yourself, you're stressed out at night, can't sleep. Other decks, though, will show, like, some ghosts or spirits right here that pointing at this person in this card and, like, kind of laughing. So I feel like it's more of a card of, like, negative self-talk or feeling. So it kind of seems like he might be aware of this tendency he has to push people away. He knows that, like, he does this, and maybe he doesn't like it, so he's feeling like he's stuck and his hands are tied, like he doesn't really know what to do about it. But he cannot allow himself to just allow it and trust it, but he also feels like he's going to miss out on something, or that, you know, he's going to ruin it, but he doesn't really, he feels powerless to change it or do anything about it, is what it seems. So, let me pause real quick. We're on... Did I just give you 15 minutes when you have... So, wait. So we have about a minute left then. Right? Because yeah, because okay. Because we're on 9:44, so let's just say, you know, we're on, okay, let's say we're on 10 minutes then. 10 minutes left. So 15 minus 10, that's 5. So 9:44. We have about a minute and a half left. I put it on 15 for you, and it was supposed to be 7. So since we have 9:44 left, I'm going to give you a minute and a half, because that would be about 7 minutes. So let's do a minute and a half. It's a little more probably, but just by a couple seconds. So let me just check what you've said on YouTube really quick. My bad. Yes, he just likes all my posts and recently is replying with compliments but hasn't asked me out. I can see that he could be non-committal. Okay, can I ask what would happen if I contact Albert? What would happen? Like, how would you... Oh, wait. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is supposed to be 15 minutes. I'm retarded. So you have 9:44. Okay. I'm so sorry, Azalea. You're right. I don't know why I confused that. But you're right. Yeah, I don't know. I for some reason I thought we were on the 7-minute reading still. I don't know why. So 9:44. We're good. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay. So if you contact Albert, right? What would happen? We have 9:44. So what would happen if you contact Albert? Azalea, what would happen if she contacts Albert? What would happen if she contacts Albert? What would happen with Azalea? Okay. So we see the Hanged Man, so it's kind of like this, like not taking action, kind of observing it first, but wanting to understand it deeper. So they're gonna observe Lovers. Maybe they're considering, should they be with you? I saw the 7 of Swords, but it didn't come out all the way, so I'm just noting that, but I'm not throwing it out there yet. Okay, so this person has a lot of thinking to do. Yeah, this person has a lot of thinking to do. I feel like if you do contact them, they're going to have a lot of thinking to do about commitment. They're going to have to go inside and kind of figure out what they need to do, or what they need to, you know, feel okay about this. For some reason, they have kind of issues with commitment too, I'm guessing, or maybe it's just because of, you know, commitment with you, if you guys have a past or a history or something. But it's definitely, they're considering what it would be like. You know, they need to take a step back and consider it and observe and learn everything they need to learn before they take action. That's the Hanged Man. They want to understand and they want to know what they need to know. So they're going to observe and they're going to take their time doing this until they feel like they can take action. And what they're observing is basically, you know, this Lovers aspect. Are you guys good with each other? Can it work? And then the Hermit is like even more so going inside, like self-reflection. You know, what do they need in a relationship? Can you provide that? What can they offer in a relationship? Can they provide that? Can they offer it to you? And is that something that goes with what you need? Like, it's a lot of self-reflection, which is a good thing. You know, so they're really doing some heavy thinking about this before actually taking action on it. And that's pretty mature. They're trying to make sure it's something they can do and is feasible for them and will work for you too. You know, what they're self-reflecting on is like whether or not they can, like a commitment, you know, what it's going to be like, or what's the, you know, if they can even do that, or if they want to, you know. So they're considering all kinds of things. They're self-reflecting, seeing where they're at. It's going to be a lot of thought that goes into this for them. And then it looks like that they decide to do it. Okay, looks like they actually go for it. It could take some time for them to warm up to the idea. But once they have the information they need, they're good and they're gonna approach you. Or maybe reapproach. Let me pause for a second and see what you've said. 623. He blocked me back in October because he got mad at me. But I've been thinking about him a lot lately, so it seems like they have been thinking about me. Yes, it does. Well, to me, I don't see it necessarily as they're thinking about you right now, because it seems to me like this is an idea that, like you said, if, you said, what would happen if I contact Albert? And it seems like they would have some thinking to do. Like, it would be like this is an idea that's being sprung upon them that they'd have to now consider. So I don't really feel like they're thinking about it now, but I feel like if you did approach them, then they would be thinking about it then and giving it a lot of thought and not sure what to do about it and kind of having to take some time to figure out if they want to be involved with you. Again, right? So they're going to be thinking about it and if they can do commitment with you, and it seems like they're going to be offering something to you from what it looks like here. You know, it looks like they're going to go for that after some time of thinking about it. And then we are on 623. Then what do we see happening after this, or in regard, you know, along with this? Oh. Okay, we have Temperance. I feel like I need to shuffle better. Right? Because, well, I'm gonna lay it out there because it came out. I don't want to, like, fuck that up. So, they're gonna do a lot of thinking and decide, do they want to give this a try? It's gonna come down to, do I feel like there's gonna be benefits to this? There's gonna be harmony? Like, it's gonna add to my life and, you know, be a positive thing versus a negative thing. But it's like they feel like they cannot be in their own power. There's some kind of resentment, or there's some kind of not wanting to get involved because of this, but they can't say that. Why can't they say it? What are they inhibited by? So they want to, but they can't see themselves committing to it because they just can't commit. Didn't I say that earlier? But I wasn't trying not to just put that out there in that way, but maybe that's why. Because it comes and it's true. Turns out to be true. Well, I think it's safe to say this person has a hard time staying committed. And they know that. They like you, but it's like, I do genuinely think that with this here, not this, but with this, they do want to consider this possibility of commitment. Also, we have Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, Sagittarius. Okay. They do want to consider the possibility, but it's like, at the end of the day, they know that they don't do things like that. Like, they might try to offer you something, but it's a knight, too. The knights can be players. The knights can be, like, very charming, but it's not like this Page of Cups. It's not like a new offer of love that is so innocent we don't know where it's going. It's kind of like we've been there, done that, and I'm like, I know what I need to do to get into this situation, and I know what I need to do to get out, and I'll do what I need to do to make sure I can do that, you know? Like, I don't think that they're really relationship material. Like, even though they're considering it, it's like at the end of the day, they still can't really do it. They can't offer themselves in that way. And to me, it doesn't seem like it's worth... It seems like it's going to be like a replay of something that already happened, if you've seen that side of them, or it's going to be like something that, even if you want it to work, you just realize it really can't because of the way that people are. You know, and it's like they can't even control that, so... It's like they could change, but they don't. Like, they just don't. Something's holding them back from actually making that happen. Okay. Okay, and then 229. So what do we want to see now? We want to see... Or wait, let me ask you. We'll go back to 230. 229, and then I want to know, like, what you want to look at specifically. If should we look at any other, you know, offers of love or anybody coming in or something like that? I mean, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left still, so I just want to ask you, like, what you'd like to look at specifically. You know, if you have another question, or if you wanted to look and dig into something more. Yes, who is coming in? Okay. Okay. Who's coming in for love? Azalea, anybody? Oh. These cards are coming out quick for you. Oh, look at that. They waste no time. Just get it out there, right? So, the Wheel of Fortune means, well, you'll be fortunate in this. What's coming towards her this year regarding love? What does she need to know about love coming in? Azalea, please. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Okay. Definitely somebody coming in here. You might have a few more options than one. You might meet them at work. What's the 8 of Pentacles? Oh. 8 of Pentacles. So, it could be somebody from your past, or it could be somebody that you meet and it feels very familiar. It feels like you've known them before, even if you haven't. Like, it just feels like... It feels like something you felt before, and then it feels like this is going somewhere because of that. It could be a past life connection. You know, it's what they tend to call the 6 of Cups. Nostalgia, memories. I don't feel like it's an old person that you know, though. I feel like it is a new person. It just feels familiar, and so you feel like it's going to go somewhere. You feel like it could actually lead somewhere, and it could be real. Use your better judgment. Why is that coming out? Okay. I feel like it's saying use your better judgment because you probably should collaborate with this person first and get to know them first. This might be different than other relationships you've been in or connections you've had, because it's asking you to kind of take your time with it, you know? 3 of Pentacles is saying, like, work with them, collaborate, exchange ideas, get to know the person, you know, get their direction on life and give them yours too, you know? Like, and it's saying use your better judgment. It's saying, you know, really think about it this time. Do something different. Don't just do the same thing you always do. And also get to know them. Like, get to know, you know, their ideas. And then there's hope there. There's Aquarius, too. So I feel like, remember, certain cards come out before each other for a reason. There's a reason this one came out before this one. And there's a reason this one came out before this one. So use your better judgment on this. It feels very good and familiar. So you feel like, okay, we're headed towards some kind of direction. Like, this is going to work out. Like, we're going to move forward. Like, it's just kind of, it probably very fast. just quickly you just feel very strong, and it just seems like that's the natural way of direction, right? But it's saying kind of slow it down and use your better judgment. Don't fuck this up. It could be something that has a lot of hope, and it could be serious, it could be committed, it could be what you're looking for in regards to commitment and, you know, a committed partnership with a person with, you know, ideas that are like yours, like-minded, you know. And so the key here is to basically, you know, get to know them first on a level of not just friends, but like, you know, like an intellectual or mental level, you know, get to know how their mind works and exchange your ideas with them and kind of see, you know, exchange ideas, brainstorm, work together and figure each other out, and, you know, lead the way to getting to know you, and he'll do the same. And that's where there's hope, because then you guys are getting to know each other as more than just like attraction. You know, I feel like that's probably why it's going to be deeper, because it's something you haven't really had much practice with, but it looks like something that could be beneficial to the situation, and that's what you should do. That's what it seems to be pointing towards, is do something different. You know, do something where you're using your judgment. Like, really consider this time. If you're going to get involved with somebody, make sure that you're basically wanting to. Don't just do it because it's somebody who's there, or don't idealize, you know. Like, it's kind of not really giving you room to idolize, because it's saying get to know them first. You know, I'm not going to let you idealize, because you're going to get to know them, and you're going to know them and know if you really want to get involved with them or not. And you can make that decision that you don't want to, or that you do. It's not like you have to just because you started already. You can decide at any time that you're not really into it. It's not going to work out, blah, 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 blah. And it's giving you plenty of time to really consider that, so you don't get attached, I think, to something that you don't really want to be attached to, like other times. You know, or for the wrong reasons, or maybe just something that isn't good for you, for example. So, I have a tendency to rush into relationships. Yes, going to take my time this time around. Nice. So, I don't know if you're here still, Jaded, but if you are, can you close out the list, or just close the list down? And I'm going to be doing, yes, the chakra wisdom for you. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's see. What messages do you have for Azalea, please? What message is Azalea's message? Okay. Faith? Faith. Let's look at this. Faith. Just want you to look at that for a sec. Okay. Okay. It's a purple chakra. So I'm going to read the purple chakra section to you, and then I'll read you the card summary, and then we'll read the actual passage, okay? So the purple chakra says, learn to see without sight. The overall impression is seeing the unseen. The keywords are guidance, intuition, secrets, integrity, knowledge, spirituality, inner child, mystery. Sorry about that. Hate that. My alarm. Okay. Inner child, mystery, and dignity. The manifesting intention. The sixth chakra represents our sixth sense. All the cards in the purple color ray, indigo and violet, appear in this chapter. The brow chakra is the third eye and houses all that is hidden within, including our intuitive knowing. The cards often reveal family agreements made before you were born and karmic issues which you have brought into the world to work out. The sixth chakra reveals your intuitive focus and your inner knowing. The cards in this chapter may reveal the behaviors you've either inherited or unknowingly chosen to copy from your family of origin. This reflects where you are in terms of your own awareness and reveals your willingness to do your own soul searching. Are you living your past into the future? Faith is the unspoken element here. All intentions are fulfilled with the help of spirit. Nice. So purple cards at a glance. I felt like when I first was reading that passage, like it was kind of trying to point in the direction of like, listen to yourself, have faith in yourself, like instead of just jumping into things like you had mentioned, and like the cards were kind of, you know, giving advice about, you know, saying just kind of take your time with this and figure out like if you really like the person or what you want to, like what you can offer, and if it's going to jive with what they can offer, and like really consider it, you know, like really you don't have to rush into anything. And it's kind of saying like have faith and like feel it out, like know what's best for yourself or not, you know, like actually consider it instead of just not considering it, instead of just wanting it for a reason that's not important, really, like really kind of like get deep with it and figure out what you're feeling about it instead of just like not thinking about that at all. And you have a better chance, obviously, you know, you have faith for the right reasons because you know you guys connect instead of just you both want it for your certain reasons. So faith, it's the royal purple brick. It says we are all wounded. Some wounds are recognized easily while others are not. Forge ahead and do not allow your pain to hold you back. You are meant to inspire others, and if you do not carry on, they will suffer. It is time to deliver your message. Wow, that's fucking deep. Like, damn, that's a lot to put on a person. Better do it, Azalea. So, royal purple brick says, I am more than I think I am. The legend, Peggy is terrified. She can't see past the wall in front of her, and it is preventing her from moving forward. She cries out for help. The great spirits appear and tell her that she is holding a royal purple brick, thinking it is a wall. They encourage her to place the brick back in the path and ask her not to give up on life. Peggy lowers the brick to the ground and courageously steps forward. Her future lights up. The inspiration says, what frightens you is something much smaller than you know. If you are experiencing pain, holding on tighter will only worsen the situation. Your greatness awaits. Your personal inquiry. This is for you to ask yourself, Azalea. You ask yourself, I have tremendous amount of personal magnetism. Am I willing to allow myself to shine? The key ideas are narrow focus, miracles all around, not following wise counsel, not accepting your gifts, using energy in a self-defeating way. And your keywords are gifts, muse, and fear. Okay? Nice. The meditation says, this is the time to let go and recognize your own gifts. Thank your guides for protecting you and not allowing you to give up. This is the first step in communicating and sharing with the world. The royal purple brick is part of your path, not the entire journey. Nice. So any blockages there, it's just a part of the path. You had to get through all those bad relationships in order to actually have the need for you to consider it better because you know what you've done in the past and that hasn't been helpful. That had to happen so that you could be at this point now, you know? Sometimes when we read things later on to ourselves, it kind of hits us in a different way. So if you're interested, you can look up the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and you got the card Faith. So if you want to look that up on Google or whatever, Safari, wherever you look it up, the Chakra Wisdom Oracle and the card Faith. You can read the passage for yourself online. I'm sure they have it somewhere. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty fucking sure. Okay, Azalea. Well, thank you, and thank you everybody for donating. I really appreciate it, you guys. I'm happy to have done this for you guys, and I'm happy to do it again. I'm probably going to come on later today, and then tomorrow at this time as well. This is my time that works, so that's what I'm going to do. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks again for everybody who donated and everybody who participated and was here and was give an effort and commenting and typing in the chat. So make sure you turn on notifications and you can get notified when I go live. And if you do come into the live at that moment, right when you're notified and you type into the chat box, if you're one of the first 3 people, you'll get a free reading, okay? So if you want to get in on that, get notifications, you know, enable notifications, hit that bell icon, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Don't miss out. Don't miss it.